guys, True Smith Crab here, and we're going to be reviewing Smackdown Live for you. So let's get right into it. So first off, we start with the first round picks. So the first pick of the night was Seth Rollins. Oh, surprise, surprise. We all knew this was going to happen. Seth Rollins is, well, like Jesus. Well, he's CrossFit Jesus. And so, Stephanie McMahon loves Seth Rollins. We all know this. She might even be having an affair with him for all we know. But, Seth Rollins was the #1 pick. Nobody's surprised. What I was surprised about was the next pick, and that was Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan selecting Dean Ambrose as their #2 pick. I was expecting John Cena or maybe AJ Styles as their #2 pick. But Dean Ambrose, the WWE Champion, is the #2 pick, which he should be top 2 anyway. Actually, he should be top 1 because he's a WWE Champion. And that's why it led me to believe that Seth Rollins was going to win the WWE Championship tonight, but ended up being Dean Ambrose, which I got to get into later. I'm spoiling my own review. So the next one was Charlotte. Charlotte was picked. That's good. It's good to see that the women are getting up there and that the draft picks are being so high. It's showing that the women's division is still important and that it is important. And so I'm glad that Charlotte got picked. Then after that, we went to AJ Styles. The phenomenal one himself was picked as the second pick. Was the second pick for SmackDown Live in their draft in the first round. And then we went from the Demon, Finn Balor, being selected next by Raw, and that was great. I'm glad. I'm a little disappointed Finn Balor is going to Raw. I prefer him to be on SmackDown with Mauro Ranallo calling his matches, because I just feel like Michael Cole, JBL, and Byron Saxton are just, man, they put me to sleep just listening to them. So hopefully, he's gonna do well because he's Finn Balor. All right, he's gonna get himself over because of who he is. He's great. He's fantastic. He's the future face of this company. We all know it. So, when it comes down to that, we'll see how it goes. And that was the first round of the draft. Now we're going to move on to our next match, which was John Cena versus Luke Gallows. We all knew Luke Gallows was going to lose this because it's Super Cena. Come on. Seriously? Nobody's going to beat John Cena. Clean. On Raw or SmackDown. And so, he came out. Then Enzo and Cass came out, and then the Bullet Club came out. Luke Gallows came out to fight John Cena. I'm yawning. I'm getting tired. So then Enzo and Cass came out. Big pop as always. They're some of the most. Enzo might be one of the most over, if not the most over person in the world. No, I'm not him. He's one of the most over people in WWE, and it's great to see that. I hope they don't split them up in ways that, Vince McMahon's going to do something stupid any way to find a way to split that team up so Big Cass can get his spotlight, which he doesn't deserve because he's still kind of green in my opinion. So that does not need to happen. Oh, so round 2 commences. And ooh, where the boos just, you could feel them and you just wanted to rub them in and just smear them on your face. All the boos that happen when the words Roman Reigns came out of Mick Foley's mouth. I never thought that Mick Foley could ever get booed. But boy, Roman Reigns can prove you wrong, can he? Roman Reigns, just his presence, just his name inspires hatred. That's not a good thing. So Roman Reigns was the first pick of the second round. Wow. That surprised me a little bit. Oh my gosh, he's going to get it so bad Sunday at Battleground. And maybe for the rest of this year, if they try to go with that sympathy angle and not turn him heel, turn him heel. There is no better chance than right now. Turn him heel, WWE. Vince, stop stroking your dick. Roman needs to turn heel. So the next pick was John Cena, the face that runs the place, was selected by SmackDown Live as their first pick in the second round. I was expecting him to go a little higher, probably top 5, but it's very good. It's good. This is a good thing that he went so low. Not low for John Cena, of course, because it allows the young people to look better, the new and up-and-coming stars to look better. It makes Finn Balor look great. It makes AJ Styles look great. It makes Dean Ambrose look great. It makes Seth Rollins looks great. That they were picked over John Cena because they look just as important, if not more important, than John Cena. And that's great. You want to build up these stars to make them look good. So then the Beast Incarnate was the second pick of the second round for Raw. I was surprised that they didn't allow Brock to be a floater, which is what I was expecting because Brock is Brock and Brock will do what Brock does. Well, however Brock wants to do it. And you're not going to say nothing about it because he's, if you do it, he's going to punch you in the mouth and you're going to go cry in the corner and there's nothing you can do about it because what you're going to do, you're going to go tell your mom because he's going to punch your mom too. So it's like it's a lose situation, you know. So Brock Lesnar was selected by Raw. I was surprised he is not going to SmackDown. He's a part-timer, which is once again why I was surprised. So yep, Brock Lesnar was the next pick, and another surprising pick for me. The second pick of the second round by SmackDown Live was Randy Orton. This one caught me off guard a little bit. I get that he's a big name and all, but I didn't think that he should have gone this, gone this high. I think he's good. He's good. He's got the RKO. Everybody knows him from that. I mean, Vine blew him up last year with those RKO vines. People love him. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but in my eyes, I would have preferred to have drafted like a younger talent. I would have put like American Alpha here, because that's how over that they are. They're that great. So Raw chooses the the ambassadors of booty, the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day. The New Day were selected by Raw. That's good. It's a good pick. New Day is one of the most over teams or over people, period, in WWE. Them and Enzo and Cass, they really need to fight at SummerSlam because, you could just imagine how electric that's going to be with two extremely over teams with Enzo and Cass, especially being in Brooklyn. Enzo and Cass in Brooklyn, and the New Day being as over as they are. Man, you put those two together, and you just got money. It's just money. It's going to be like Shane McMahon's entrance, just money falling everywhere, dollar signs, dollar signs. Vince, if you don't book that, you're freaking retarded. Anyway. So we move on to the next match, which was Darren Young and Zack Ryder versus The Miz and Rusev. I didn't really watch this match, if you want me to be completely honest. I'm not very interested in these feuds, to be 100%. I want Zack Ryder to win because Zack Ryder deserves to win, because Zack Ryder he's been in this company, around 10 years, and he's been treated like absolute garbage. So he's a great worker. He looks fantastic. He looks great. He looks like an actual champion, and it's a shame that WWE is not giving him a shot, and he needs to have a shot because he deserves it. He's worked his behind off, and seeing him win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania almost brought me to tears because of just how happy you felt for him. So it was definitely great to see him, getting what he deserves, So thank God that has happened, and my notes just refreshed, so that's not good. So anyway. I think after that, it was Bray Wyatt versus Xavier Woods. Or did they select another pick? I think they went to the third round before this. No, they did not. So Bray Wyatt versus Xavier Woods happened. No, okay, I'm screwing myself up. I don't even know what I'm freaking reading over here. So the next one was it was supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Kane. Not for Kevin Owens, but for Kane. Why is Kane still here? These guys need to go away. Seriously, Kane and Big Show, they need to just get not only get off my TV, but get out of a WWE ring, period. These guys, they can be GMs or freaking, I don't know, referees or something. Just something that they are not. No, because if they're in the referee, then they have to be in the ring, and I don't want them anywhere near the squared circle. Let's get them as far away from that as humanly possible. That's the best thing for them and for us, and I think we can all agree on that. So, nobody wins because Sami Zayn ends up coming out and just, they're wailing each other. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're just wailing each other. Great rivalry. I hope they fight forever because they are fantastic and they are better together than when they are apart. I was a little surprised that they went to the same brand. I was hoping that they would go to separate brands so that way this feud doesn't get washed up too quickly. But I guess Vince McMahon had other plans. So that was very interesting to see. And then after that, Kevin Owens comes out and he's just screaming at everybody, "Why wasn't I picked, huh? I'm not good enough to be picked." Freaking love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is fantastic. He is one of the best. I want to say he's the second best heel in WWE. I'd probably say Samoa Joe. And I was thinking maybe Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins is too over to be a heel. It's kind of weird. So here we come with the number 3 pick. Sami Zayn is the first pick in the third round for Raw. Ole, ole, ole. The underdog from the underground is selected in the first pick in the third round. So SmackDown Live, with their first pick in the third round, select the face of fear, Bray Wyatt. This is a good placement for Bray Wyatt. It still shows that he's important. He's still getting selected, getting TV time. Not too late in the draft. Makes him look good. Raw selects Sasha Banks, who I believe should have gone earlier because she is the most popular woman in the women's division on the main roster. I'd say maybe Bayley would be ahead of her. if we're talking about overall. But considering the main roster, the pops that she gets every time she comes out, being one of the women competitors, because not a lot of them get 0 reactions. Natalya, for example. I'm talking about recent Natalya. Becky Lynch gets good reactions. Charlotte is, I'm getting bored with Charlotte, really. I'm waiting for Sasha to just become the new women's champion and revitalize the women's division as it so desperately needs. So I can't wait for that to happen. Then SmackDown counters with another, I almost said diva, but another woman with another woman. And Becky Lynch, the Irish lass kicker, goes to SmackDown Live. She is the diva for SmackDown. I think she's the only diva that went to SmackDown, or was it Natalya? I think Natalya went as well, but we'll get into that later. So then Raw counters with selecting Chris Jericho as their last pick in the 3rd round. Break the walls down, drink it in, man. The gift of Jericho. He goes to Raw in the last pick of the 3rd round. That's great. That is great. I'm glad to see. They needed some star power for every single round. Just to remind them, yeah, we're still selecting big stars, and Jericho can still work in the ring, and his heel work has been absolutely fantastic since coming back. So it's always good to see him in my TV. So let's go ahead and we're going to scroll down. I think the next match was Xavier Woods versus, who is it, Bray Wyatt? Yes, that's right, Bray Wyatt. So Xavier Woods versus Bray Wyatt go at it. Bray Wyatt is still scaring Xavier Woods, so that's hilarious to see. It's always funny to see that thing he does where he tilts his back in the round, and it's just really creepy. It's honest to God really creepy. It's very interesting to see though, when he just cracks his own back and gets up like that, and it's weird. It's weird. I can't do that, and I'm skinny and nimble. But Bray Wyatt is a big dude, and the fact that he can do that is actually pretty impressive. I will say that. I will definitely say that. So then I think we move on to our number 4, our 4th round picks. And Rusev with Lana is the first pick in the 4th round for Raw. I am a little confused on this, and I will say this one thing. I feel that all the champions should be the first people selected, period. I mean, these guys are champions. If you want to make these championships look legit, you will select these champions in the first couple rounds. Not in the 4th round or the 3rd round. First 2 rounds, champions should go. Period. I don't care who you are. You are a U.S. champion. You want to make the U.S. championship look important? You draft it early. You want to make the Intercontinental Championship look important because it's been away for like 40 days and hasn't been defended in forever? How you make it look important? You draft the Intercontinental Champion early. It gives more credibility to that champion and more credibility to that championship and to your show. So I was surprised that these champions were selected so late. And to counter the championship, the United States Championship going to Raw, SmackDown counters with bringing the Intercontinental Championship to SmackDown. So that is good. That is good. It's great to see the. It's great to see. The Intercontinental Championship, the second most important championship. Well, I guess not now because they're going to make 2 championships, but the second most important championship right now is going to SmackDown, so that's good. I also failed to mention the winners of the matches before, so let me go ahead and say that right now. John Cena beats Luke Gallows, no surprise there. We all knew that was going to happen. Darren Young and Zack Ryder beat Rusev and The Miz when he... What's Bob Backlund's move that I can't remember? I cannot remember it at this moment, but it's going to come to me. It's going to come to me later. So he pins them. Then Bray Wyatt beats Xavier Woods with his sister Abigail. So that's what happened in those matches. I apologize for screwing that up. I did not even notice until I thought about it, and I was like, wow, I never said the winners of those matches and how they won. So there you go. Then Kevin Owens is selected for Raw. Kevin Owens should be going higher. Kevin Owens is fantastic. He is one of the best wrestlers we have, one of the best mic talkers we have, just one of the best all-around people we have, superstars, period, in the WWE. I don't think that he was treated as such being selected in the 4th round. But, hey, man, what can you do? What can you do? So then, one of the worst picks of the night, if not the worst pick. I don't think it's the worst pick. I will get to the worst pick later. Baron Corbin goes to SmackDown Live as their final pick in the 4th round, and I don't agree. Baron Corbin does not deserve to be selected in the 4th round, especially before somebody like Enzo and Cass. And this is something that I don't get, because Enzo and Cass were selected next by Raw as their final pick in the 4th round. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are both babyfaces running SmackDown. If Enzo and Cass were still on the board, wouldn't it make logical sense that they would have selected Enzo and Cass to go to SmackDown rather than Baron Corbin, who is a heel, who's going to Raw? Especially with Enzo and Cass still being there and being as over as they are and fan favorites, you'd think that they would get the rub and go to SmackDown, to the 2 babyface general managers, but I guess not. So that's very interesting. That caught me off guard. That definitely caught me off guard. I do not approve. I do not. So the next match was Sasha Banks versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke in a handicap match. We all knew who was going to walk out of this the winner. So Charlotte pins Sasha Banks after delivering the natural selection. She delivers a natural selection to Sasha, middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, pinned clean. Not clean because it's a freaking handicap match, but we all knew how this was going. It was a fairly short match. But I will say something. First of all, Sasha is fantastic. We all know this. Sasha is one of the best wrestlers, if not the best woman wrestler, period. One of the best wrestlers, period, in the WWE. Let's not even talk about women. Let's just talk about period. And that double knee she did off the apron to Charlotte, it looked absolutely devastating, man. It looked like it hurt. Like, it made my face hurt. Like, I grabbed my face. I was like, oh, okay. It's still there. And she's fantastic. She needs to win the Divas. I'm not... The women's championship. I'm sorry, I've been watching wrestling for a while, so I'm so used to saying divas. That's what I grew up with. And so I got to get used to saying women's now. So the women's championship, I hope she wins it in SummerSlam. They finally need to give it to her so she can revitalize the women's division, because if anybody can do it right now, Sasha Banks is that person. So I can't wait for that to happen at SummerSlam. And so we move on to our next couple picks. I think we went to round 5 now. So with the first pick in the 5th round, Raw selects Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, who I don't think should be split up from AJ Styles, but they are. Nothing I can do about that. That's just how it went. I totally disagree with the pick, but that's what happened. SmackDown Live with my favorite pick of the night, American Alpha. Going from NXT to SmackDown Live, American Alpha is a fantastic, one of the best, if not the best tag team in all of WWE, period. They are fantastic. They are great. They're old school. We all love them. Hopefully, they will treat them right. And hopefully, Vince McMahon won't get his man boner crush on Jason Jordan from American Alpha. And then, because you know how he likes his big men. So, then, oh, yes, here we go. The worst pick of the night goes to Raw, who selects Big Show as their 2nd pick in the 5th round. Man, this was one of those where I literally got up. I just walked away for a couple seconds because I was like, this can't be serious. This can't be serious. Big Show does not deserve to be selected in this draft. Big Show does not deserve to be selected in any draft. Big Show does not deserve to be selected before all these other people like Dolph Ziggler and Neville and Cesaro. What? What? Big Show was selected before Cesaro? Cesaro? That is the worst pick of the night. The worst pick. It's not like he's going to do anything. It's not like anybody's going to care when he comes out. I truly don't understand this pick. Big Show does not deserve to be drafted unless he's drafted to the retirement home. That would be the best for us and best for him and the best for us. So then SmackDown Live counters with selecting Dolph Ziggler. I think this is a great pick. Dolph Ziggler is fantastic. We all know how fantastic Dolph Ziggler is. Great, probably the best worker in WWE. He could be world champion. WWE doesn't want to give it to him. He's fantastic. He's great. I love that he's going to SmackDown Live with some of the younger people. So that's good. I won't even say younger people. I expect the SmackDown to be the younger audience, but they got John Cena and Randy Orton, people like that. So it's kind of a mix between young people and old. So that was very interesting. Then Raw selects Nia Jax. We all knew Nia Jax was going to be drafted. We all knew she was going to be drafted on television, so it was no surprise when she did. Then she's going to Raw. I've really enjoyed her recent stuff, especially after destroying Bayley and her rivalry with Asuka. It was very, very, very good. Or Asuka. How do you say that? Asuka or Asuka? I don't care. Anyway, So it's very interesting. I think she looks fantastic. She's the light-skinned Karma. That's what I call her. Light-skinned Karma, or Awesome Kong for all you TNA people. So it's good to see her going from there. Then we had Natalya versus, I don't know, whoever she was supposed to go against. When they cut back to Raw, it was just Natalya and Becky Lynch just punching the mess out of each other, just attacking. Multiple referees needed to take these women away from each other. And these women look bigger than those referees. So that's embarrassing, referees. Come on. Do you even lift, bro? Of course you don't. You're referees. You guys break when somebody touches you on the shoulder. You guys just... Oh. I mean, like, seriously? Are you guys made out of, like, paper mache or wood or glass or feathers or something? I don't know what the heck you guys are made of. So then we came to the round number 6, the final round in the draft. Raw picks the man who gravity forgot, Neville. Neville gets selected for Raw in their first pick in the 6th round. Neville's fantastic. He's finally back from injury, so I can't wait to see what he does. He is one of the greatest high flyers, in my opinion, ever. And I will state that because what Neville can do it's scary. The kind of things Neville can do. Neville is fantastic. Hopefully, he might be in the Cruiserweight division. I'd love to see that. That'd be very interesting, but I think he's too big. He's actually very built for a man his size, so I don't know how that's going to work out. So then we go to SmackDown Live, who selects Natalya. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Natalya goes to SmackDown Live. Then with the second pick in the second round, the second pick in the 6th round, Ross selects the Swiss Superman Cesaro. Cesaro goes to Raw for the 6th round, which I can't believe Cesaro went in the 6th round. Cesaro is so much better than that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that Cesaro was selected after Baron Corbin and Big Show and Natalya. I don't understand that, but whatever. So that's very interesting. You know, that would have been a great pick for SmackDown, I think. But they chose Natalya and Baron Corbin. Something's wrong with these people. Okay, so then the next pick was... the next pick was then Alberto Del Rio. I don't even know what to call Alberto. What does he even go by? C? It's a C-man? I get... Oh my gosh, that sounds awful. C-man. So, Alberto Del Rio gets selected by SmackDown Live as their final pick. Alberto goes to SmackDown. Criminally underutilized talent, Alberto is. But I don't think WWE cares. It's a shame. Especially with the work that he did at Lucha Underground. If you ever get a chance, check it out. Because he was an absolute star there. And he comes back here and he's treated like absolute garbage. It's a darn shame indeed. So with the final pick, Raw selects Sheamus. I don't even know what to call him either. Broad kick or something. I don't even know. So who cares? The Irishman. You look stupid, sir himself. Sheamus, the big mohawk, is headed to Raw. So that's good. Actually, I don't hate Sheamus. Sheamus is good. He's a good worker. His mic skills are, but he's good at what he does. And what he does is beat up people. And so that's good. And that brings us to our main event, where it was Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. This was a very interesting match because I actually did not know who was going to win. I was floating back and forth between the match and before the match who was going to win. One of the things that was having me selecting Seth Rollins as the winner, or as who would become the winner of the outcome of this match at the end of the outcome, when he was selected first round, I was expecting the WWE Championship to go home with him that night. And it might still go because we still have Battleground. I totally forgot about that. There's still Battleground to go, so he might even win it there. I just can't see them bringing the WWE Championship to SmackDown. I think that would be great for SmackDown. I just couldn't see them doing it. Vince McMahon's too stubborn. I think SmackDown kind of needs it. That would be great, especially you know, just having the WWE Championship, which is going to be the #1 championship. Period. I don't care which brand you have it on. You know, coming to SmackDown makes SmackDown look more legitimate. It makes it look more like the A show. It makes it look tied with Raw. So that's good to see. So yeah, Dean Ambrose for Seth Rollins for the main event. This wasn't as good as their match on Raw. However, I will say it was still a really good match. The last 5 minutes of this match, I'm sorry about that, was fantastic. It was great. It was fast-paced. It was quick. It was just one near fall after the other, after the other, after the other. It was great. I actually rewatched the ending of this match 3 times because I love when things come out of nowhere. I love when you end a match in what's a great spot and it makes everybody look good. It makes the champion look good. Whoever was winning that match look good. And it was great to see the Dirty Deeds come out of nowhere after a superplex. Even though that kind of makes me feel like it no-sold the superplex. which is interesting. I don't think that should have been allowed, but you know, whatever. So it was a good match. It was a really good match. It wasn't as good as the one on Raw. However, I don't know. Maybe the ending of this match I would prefer, which would maybe give me the edge to say it was better than the one on Raw, because that ending was absolutely horrible. Especially for people who don't have the WWE Network. I mean, I have it, and I got the notification that Dean Ambrose got the draw, and so he retained it. But for the people at home who don't have the WWE Network, all they saw was Seth Rollins walking away with the title, and it was a horrible ending. It was an absolutely horrible ending, and I was ready to rant on it yesterday. I was ready to come out here and tear it apart, but that's when I saw the WWE Network special. I mean, not the special, but the WWE Network notification telling me that it was still going on, and I went to go check it out, and that's when I came in and I cleared it all up. For me. So it was a good match. It told a great story with Seth Rollins beating up Dean Ambrose before the match even started. It showed just how far Seth Rollins is willing to go to regain his championship back, and it shows just how much of a fighting champion, and just, you know, how tough Dean Ambrose is, even when facing underwhelming or overwhelming odds. So it was a great story in the match, which was that was better than the one that they told on Raw. And Dean wins with the dirty deeds after a superplex, and crowd went crazy. Daniel Bryan came out, Shane McMahon came out. Yes. They came out, give him a Smackdown jersey. So for now, Smackdown has a WWE Championship. For now. We got to wait until we see what happens at Battleground. I will be shocked if they let Dean Ambrose win it at Battleground. But think about this, though. This is something that I was thinking about when Dean Ambrose won. Seth Rollins pinned Reigns clean. Dean Ambrose pinned Rollins clean. Who does that make look like the toughest member of the Shield? Dean Ambrose, by default. He is made to look like the toughest member of the Shield because he beat the guy who beat Roman Reigns, who is like Super Jesus, God of India and stuff. God of all creation. So it was yeah, you guys have to watch this certain guy to know what I'm talking about. And it was very interesting. So that told the story that maybe Dean Ambrose is the strongest member of the Shield. And if Dean Ambrose loses on Sunday, I don't want him to be the one who's pinned. I want Rollins to pin Reigns, if that is going to be the case. I don't mind if Rollins or Ambrose wins. I would prefer Ambrose winning. It makes Ambrose look more legitimate. Brings some legitimacy back to that WWE title, which has been flip-flopping this year. It went from Roman to Triple H to Roman to Seth Rollins to Dean Ambrose. I mean, it's been floating around too much. And especially for a WWE Championship, you want it to gain credibility. So what you do is you have Dean Ambrose win. That would be what I'd want to happen. What do I expect to happen? I expect Rollins to pin Ambrose. I would prefer Rollins to pin Reigns, especially because he's fresh off a suspension. And he will be absolutely demolished, destroyed, crucified the moment that music, that don-don hits. It's just going to be boo all over the stadium. And Kevin, you can't mute these. Sorry, bud. So that was it. It was a decent SmackDown. I'd probably put it right up there with Raw. Maybe it was a little bit better because of the hype of the draft. I don't know. It was kind of underwhelming at the same time, the draft was. Raw is looking a lot better than SmackDown, and I will say that. Raw is getting some of these great talents. I mean, Neville, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Chris Jericho. I'm looking at these Enzo and Cass, Rusev, Brock Lesnar, New Day, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Charlotte. Raw was looking absolutely killer. Like, it looks great. Like, I didn't want it to be the best looking one. I wanted SmackDown to be the best looking one because I think SmackDown needs the star power the most. And some of these newer guys and young talents. I thought it was going to be the IWC show, basically. However, that did not happen. Raw ended up getting more of the IWC fan favorites than SmackDown did, so that was very surprising. So, overall, it wasn't... Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the mic. So, overall, it wasn't a bad show. Like I said, I'd probably give it a... I'd say a 7 out of 10. Let's go with a 7 out of 10. And so, you know, that's not bad. That's good, especially... I mean, they've had... SmackDown overall this year has been better than Raw. And I know not a lot of people are going to agree with me, but honestly, Raw has been horrendous these past 2 years. I'm sorry, not past 2 years, but this past year. And the entirety of 2015 was horrible. So, you know, it was okay. It was decent. It was a good kickoff for SmackDown, especially with the main event being a WWE Championship match. It makes SmackDown look better. So... that is it, guys. That is your SmackDown Live review. First ever SmackDown Live. The WWE Draft has ended. Dean Ambrose is your #1 pick for SmackDown, and you're still your WWE champion. Not World Heavyweight, but WWE champion. Seth Rollins is the #1 pick on Raw. So that's going to be very interesting. So I guess WWE is going ahead with their Reigns versus Rollins feud for SummerSlam. So I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. Of course, make sure to drop kick that subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, like my pictures. Make sure to follow me like a stalker on Twitter, but don't actually stalk me. Make sure to follow me on Twitch. I try to live stream as much as possible. I might even live stream on YouTube sometimes. Try to follow I started a new Patreon. Make sure to go check out my new Patreon. That's going to be very interesting. You can donate, make this channel a little bit better if you want. That's not necessary. It is a request. It is an ask. And if you do so, thank you, sir. You are great. But if you don't, okay, it doesn't matter. Make sure to watch the videos, though. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and a comment, of course. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.